Hi everybody, it's the usual LFC.Liverpool football show. All your comments mentioned, hopefully they're mentioned anyway. We can't mention them all, obviously, for obvious reasons. But anyway, I'd like you to comment. I'd like you to comment on anything because this is your show. And I've got my great friend, the lost Shankly boy. He's on tonight. George, you can do anything. And there he is. And he talks a lot of common sense, actually. And there he is the man himself. Hiya, George.
Hiya, Frank. Good evening. Nice to see you.
And always look forward to the Tuesday nights with you. Honestly, I'm not saying that.
We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time, Frank.
Yeah,
a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, loads of things. My daughter Francine, she went to the opening of the stand last. Well, the trial or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Other people went as well. I've been watching videos of it today, and it's still in a terrible state.
I'm not complaining, Frank. Now I'm not complaining. I'm looking forward to it now.
Oh yeah, no, but don't get me wrong. It's going to be powerful. It really is. And what it was made up about as well was that Jurgen Klopp. Francine said to me, she said Jurgen Klopp's going to do a question and answer thing. I think he'll do it. She said, I think he'll do it by visual thing. I said, no. I said he'll be there. He'll be there talking to you in person. She said, no, I don't think so. But I haven't heard from her since. But anyway, she must have.
Yeah, he did it on the pitch. He did it on the pitch.
Yeah, he did it on the pitch. Yeah, which was great. So, it was good for him. It was really good for him to come out to the fans.
Yeah.
And because he didn't have to. He didn't have to. It's just that the fans, all wanted to go and see the new stand, as you know.
And he gave 3 pumps of the fist as well. He gave 3 pumps and got them cheering.
Yeah, he did, which is great. Honestly, he's such like I don't care what anyone says. He's such like Shankly,
charismatic. Yes.
Yeah, he's in the Shankly mode.
Yes.
I've never known anybody like Shankly until this man came along.
No, he is. Shankly reincarnated.
Yes, exactly. Just say hello to our friends here. Evening, bros. Frank and George, you'll never walk alone.
Hi, JK. Nice to hear from him.
Oh, he's great. You know what? It's a pity that his mic isn't fixed because he's a great fella. Mark Simons. Good evening, guys. Jamie is trying to come on. Frank needs the link. Really?
Right.
This is Jamie Phillips, and the only way we can get on him, funny enough, is through another link. And Jason, we were only talking about it before. Jamie Phillips. And we can't get him on because there's a lad named Darren from the States, and he messaged us last night or the night before. And he said, I won't be on for another couple of weeks. He's ill or something like that. But we really need is he gets hold of him. You say, well, I can't get hold of him. Neither can Jason for some reason.
Yeah, you not got an email number or a Facebook Messenger?
No, I haven't got anything. I just haven't got anything belonging to Jamie, and neither is Jason. And we were only talking about because I said I've just been looking at Jamie's podcast, because he's great. Jamie, he's a great fella.
If Jamie sends me a message in my Facebook or sends me an email to my email number, I can maybe get an email or a contact for him.
I'd love him to come on, but I can't send a bloody link. Can't send a link.
Shame.
It is a shame. It is because I'm on with you right now, and So if anyone can get a message to him, please just try and get a message.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a shame. Try and get a message to him, Mark, if you can. Daryl Merry. Frankie! Hello, Daryl. What's good, Frank says, keep it level. Now, he was on Jamie's show as well. He was on it as well, you know. Keep it level. Some of the names, some of the pseudonyms that come on here.
Brilliant.
They are, aren't they? You've even got a pseudonym, the Lost Shankly Boy.
I know, yeah, I know. Yeah.
The only pseudonym I've got is
TLSB. TLSB.
Yeah. And Daryl says, George, love your Facebook of you and Wallace.
Yeah, I posted one of Gordon and I when we were 15 in digs in Anfield.
Really?
We arrived there, you know. I had a tie on, Frank. I wore a tie. Can you believe that? I was 15. I was well brought up.
Well, there you go, you say. Coming down to Liverpool.
Wallace looks scruffy.
Do you know what, though? He's a lovely fella, Gordon Wallace.
Oh, well, he's a gem. My best friend, yeah.
When before I retired, when I was going to different colleges for Liverpool University, I used to pull into his garage because I just lived around Priory Road, and that's where he had his garage. Yeah. So I used to go in and, you know, fill up, and he said, all right, Gordon, and he go, all right, lads, how are you? You know, I'm all right. You know, I'll talk about the old days, you know, with the Shanks, obviously.
Yeah, I was over having lunch with him a few days ago. Yeah, he's doing all right. Doing good.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Give him my regards, please, George.
Well, Frank.
I'd love him to come on here if you could get him on with you.
But he's not into the internet, Frank. He's not on the internet at all. He's quite shy, Gordon, in that sense, you know.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, you know, some of the lads, some of the footballers, that is, I don't know. Some of them are shy. Yeah, I've been on LFC TV loads of times, you know, with the likes of Jimmy Case, with the likes of Jan Mulvey, John Alder. I've been on with them all. I've been on with every single one of them.
Well, Gordon showed me when I went round to his house on Thursday, you know, when he played in the Charity Shield against West Ham, the Bobby Moore and Peters and Hurst were all playing. And at the end of I think they drew the game, so they shared the shield. And Gordon was presented with a little plaque. And over the years, it's got a bit damaged and broken. And only a few weeks ago, he went down to the Blue Coat Chambers, and there's a guy down there who's very gifted, apparently. And he's fixed it for him. And it's beautiful. You want to see it. Oh. It's a black sort of plastic with a silver metal with the FA shield embossed, Liverpool FCV West Ham, 1964, I think it was. And he's so proud of it. He's got it in a pride of place now. It's gorgeous. Really nice.
That's great, you know, all the memorabilia stuff, everything. I had, I'll tell you what I had. Every final up to, and I'm talking about cup final tickets, not FA Cup final or anything like that, all the European finals, semi-finals, every semi-final I had of the stubs. And I gave them to Francie. You know, from when she was a baby, I used to, you know, just put them there for her. And she lost them a couple of years ago.
Oh, gee.
And, you know,
so that was a shame, isn't it?
I remember, you know Dave Kirby, don't you?
Yes, poet.
Well, Dave, well, he said to me, he said, listen, Frank, he said, you fancy, I told a story about Rome, when we went to Rome. You know, me and a couple of mates, and they said to me, you know, you've got a great ambition, haven't you? And I said, yeah. I said, you know, to see the Colosseum, go into the Colosseum, watch Liverpool win a European Cup. And they were asking, they said, can you get a bevy in there? I said, no. I said, are there any strippers on? They thought it was a club. They thought it was a strip club, the Colosseum. He said, we don't want to go there. But I said, I was talking to Dave, you see, went down to see one of his plays. And I was telling him that story. And anyway, they were doing a little documentary about Rome. And he said, you know, would you do it? I said, yeah. So they actually went to my school, like where I was teaching. And, you know, they closed everywhere off. And, you know, in the background, all my students were sitting there. They were all mature students, by the way. They were all sitting in the back. And there's mates, and they were all laughing their heads off, you know, when I was giving that story about, you know, about getting to Rome and my ambition, you know what I mean? And, you know, obviously about the Colosseum and the strippers, you know. All laughing their heads off.
There's no strippers there.
Yeah, exactly. I said, it's a nation dreaming. And he says, we're going to a club. I said, okay, then. But anyway, yeah, it's just nuts, you know. This is what you get when you go to these away games. Yeah. You know, the players, obviously, you being an ex-pro and that, you know, they don't realise what they get up to. I remember talking to the Saint, and we were going down to White Hart Lane actually to play them in the FA Cup. I think it was the time. I think it was an FA Cup, and I think it's the time he hit that fella. You know, when he went down. I'm sure it was that game. Anyway, we were going down. And the noise going down was the horns of the cars going, and they were doing that St. John thing,
St. John,
all the way down there and all the way back. You know, so players don't realise like what the fans.
No,
incredible.
No, they're a bit cocooned. They're a bit cocooned out of that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just remarkable, absolutely remarkable what the fans get up to. And the likes of Jamie Phillips, someone asked him on his pod, they said to him, when did you become a Liverpool supporter? He said, I was a little kid. He said, and I was sitting there with my dad and we were watching the Liverpool v Arsenal game. You remember Michael Thomas scored the winner?
Yeah, I remember that. I was there, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I was there myself. And, Jamie said, my dad had this big ashtray. He said, he was a Liverpool fan, obviously. He said, he had this big ashtray. He said, he threw it at the telly. And he said, my dad, you know, he said, I was a little kid. He said, my dad, you know, he was, a big fan. And he was seeing him so upset, and that upset me, and that's when I became a Liverpool supporter. And he's been a Liverpool supporter ever since, you know. So just a great. I would have asked them to tell you that story, you know, because they're the kind of stories we like.
I think the Saint became probably the first Liverpool superstar, because I mean he could go nowhere in Liverpool without being mobbed.
No.
He was so well known, not worldwide, because I think the internet wasn't around then, but in the UK and especially on Merseyside, I mean, Ian couldn't go anywhere. I mean, him and Roger especially. I mean, big Saint, big Ronnie. But I mean, especially Ian with his glamour, with his name, with his character, with the goals he scored, hat-trick on his debut, and just the way he used to head the ball, and his style, charisma. He was unbelievable character. Loved him.
I'm glad you, George, you mentioned his name, because he has an unusual name, as you said. It was St. John.
St. John, some people called him St. John.
St. John, yeah, but they were the stupid commentators. I remember, I always remember, I forget, was it Alan Weeks? I forget it was. And I was watching Match of the Day once, you know, at the game. And he was calling St. John.
Yeah.
And do you know what he was calling Roger Hunt? Ralph Hunt. He called him Ralph Hunt. So he never has a clue.
No.
Until the likes of David Coleman, you know, he came onto the show.
He was brilliant. They were great commentators.
Brilliant.
Coleman, Harry Davis, Wooston.
Well, he started the trends off as very good commentators. And then, as you said about Motson and Barry Davis, they were professional.
Yeah, well, those guys used to just describe the game, and they made the film tell the story. When now they never shut up. You watch a match now, and all you hear is a droning voice in the background picking out figures of last time they scored 2 goals, and this is the best. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And sometimes I have to turn the mute on and just watch it in the mute, and then when we score, I turn it back on again.
Yeah. It's amazing, though, isn't it? I'm going to get through all these comments here, please.
Carry on, Frankie.
Because there's only me and you on at the moment. Well, I think that's it for the evening, just you and I. Arthur Schofield, even and Frank, and you too, George. Hope you're both well and ready to give it your best. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Arthur. We always try to give it our best anyway. And there's our most controversial fellow who always comments. Because even of my 2 good friends, hope all's well. Remember, boys, positive thinking all the time.
That's the only way. That's the only way, Brian.
He can't get over George Sefton, where George was on with my daughter Francine when I was away.
Yeah, I remember that.
George is a lovely man. He loves our Francine. He loves our. Francine and I went up to a function, to Anfield for him for his charity, and it was a great night. We were with Jan Mulby all night most. And it was just one of those nights. And our Francine mentioned, she said, the very first time I went into Anfield, I heard your voice. And she said about, people say about when you say Steven Gerrard, Steven Gerrard, just like what he said there.
Yeah.
Taz Reynolds, all right, Frank, mate. Oh, thank you. And there you are, Taz. Listen, Taz, I'd love anyone to come on here, I'd love anyone to come on here. And Daryl says, yeah, Jamie just said he wants to come on.
Need to get the link.
Get the bloody link, I know. And yeah, he comments on here, and this is what I can't understand.
Must be able to get a link to him.
I'll have to ask, I'll have to ask. I'm fuming over this.
Jason to send him a link.
Yeah, well, Jason can't because he hasn't got it. He can't send it like you. Jason's got all the links that need to go out to people. Everyone except Jamie Phillips. Except Jamie.
It's weird that.
And it's like what Keep It Level says. Jamie was asking us to put your channel link on the chat because he's finished his stream so everyone could come on here.
Well, there you go. Can I do that?
And he says, Jamie Phillips Reid. It's just nuts. I wonder if he's on here. Oh, Pan of Scouse.
Pan of Scouse.
Isn't that brilliant name, Pan of Scouse? I mentioned that to him ages ago. I said, you've got the finest name there, Pan of. And he said, people don't get it. He said, I was made up that you got, Pan of Scouse.
He's got the prize for the best non-plume.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Mark Simons was saying, Jamie was talking movies. It was getting feisty, but he left to watch the United game, Frank. Well, there you go. I think he's going to watch the Man United versus Bayern game, says, yeah, well.
I've not got much interest in that.
No, neither me. Oh. My name is Peter, says Keep It Level. Peter, I won't forget your name.
Keep it level.
I won't forget your name. And Charlie Wood. Good evening, Frank and George.
Hi, Charlie. Good evening.
There's Anthony. Good evening, Frank and George. All the best for a great show. And there's 2 scotches for us off Anthony.
I'll have one of them, yeah.
For people who don't know Anthony, he's my regular on my Monday show. It's a history show. We do everything history.
Yeah, I've seen it, Frank. I've seen it. He's good, isn't he? He's a lovely lad, lovely man.
He's an international artist. He's an incredible. He's
I know.
exhibitions
Fantastic.
everywhere. Incredible. One in New York, and I was one of his subjects. You know, like 100 Liverpool heads thinking as well. You know, all famous people. I'm so humble to, he had me. Mark says, if they like people, thank you. And listen, just subscribe. Get as Jamie Phillips said about the algorithm, it's very important. So to get to other people and subscribe, because what I do know is that, albeit that you subscribe, the likes of YouTube, they'd like you they take it off. So you have to subscribe again. Don't ask me why. I can't explain it. There's better people who can explain that than me. I haven't a clue.
Yeah.
So please subscribe if you have subscribed and you think you subscribe again, please. Is Dorothy Langman? You haven't changed.
She's lovely. She's great. She's in touch with me quite a lot on Facebook. Wonderful.
The accused wore a suit. Dorothy, do you know what, Dorothy? If you're still there, my darling, I don't go on Facebook anymore because I used to follow her on Facebook. I've still got the account, but I don't comment on there. I will do. I'll be putting up a post. Say the account's still there, so I'll put a comment up near the Christmas, and I'll explain why I don't go on actually. And Keep It Level says, Pan of Scouse, have you seen the video on YouTube titled Scouse Not English? Yeah, funny enough, I'm called Doctor, you see, which I am. And Keep It Level said on a Jamie Phillips pod last night, I think, or the night. And he called me the Doc, and I said, how do you know that? And he watched that. He watched that particular episode of Scouse Not English. Why is Liverpool so different from the rest of the country?
It is.
Have you never seen it, George?
No, I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I've not seen it.
It's had 500,000 views.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. I'll have to try and pick on that and try and find it. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, you'll get it on YouTube. I'll tell you what, George, what they actually did, it was fantastic. They filmed Liverpool, and it was brilliant, the way they filmed. But this American said to me, got hold of me for some reason, and I said, no, it's not about football. I said, it's about the city of Liverpool, because it starts off why Liverpool is so passionate and why, they are against the establishment.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it just showed you, like, remember when, I think it was against, when Fabinho scored in the semis and we got to, the final and whatever, in the Champions League a couple of years ago. So they showed a little bit of that, Fabinho scored, and then they showed the cup final and, the descent by the Liverpool fans when the national anthem was being played.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. But this fella said, no, it's about football. I said, I couldn't be bothered, I said, yeah, okay, fair enough. Don't bother looking at it. Because, there are some controversial people.
Yeah.
Anyway. Right, let's see. Yeah, Dr. Frank Carlyle is on that. Oh, hang on. Dr. Frank Carlyle is on that. It's decent. He speaks about the history of Liverpool and that. That's what Peter says, keep
You
it
got
up.
your official title there, Dr. Frank Carlyle.
Yeah. It's, I'll tell you the story about that some other time, to be honest, because to be called, it's snobberish, honestly,
I
because I
remember
was.
I remember doing an after-dinner talk at the Grosvenor Hotel in Chester. There's about 400 people there. They're all professional people, I thought I'm going to be out of my depth here. I wasn't in the end at all. But when I looked at the actual toast list, everybody on the table that I was on the top table. They all were MBs, OBEs, MSCs, DSOs, and there was me, G.W. Scott Esquire, ESQ.
Guy.
I was the main speaker.
Well, I gave an after dinner speech. Someone came to see me giving a lecture, and I didn't know this. And anyway, he said to me, "Would you be willing to come up and give a speech for us?" I said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm from a cycle club." I said, "Yeah, okay." And this is genuine. So anyway, I said, "Yeah, okay." So he gets up there, and little did I know, when he gets to this particular place this evening, I was with my, the one I was with at the time, and I went, "Oh, hello," and all these fellas were there, tucks.
Yeah.
And I went up in an ordinary suit. They never told me. They didn't tell me. So anyway, she was dressed up great, so I was made up with that. I just went in a suit and a tie. Anyway, he says, "You're sitting here." So I said, "Oh, okay." And there was one big long table and two massive big long ones, so it was like coming towards me and we're sitting up here, looking right over.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there next to me. It's the chairman of this club and the treasurer, and I'm sitting in between them. So I'm sitting there like that. I knew it was. There was Olympians there, cyclists. That Boardman
Yeah.
fella, Chris Boardman, he was there.
Yeah, Boardman, yeah.
A few other Olympians, So I'm sitting there like that. And he said, "Now I'm wondering why, I'm sitting there at the top table and, with all these people. I haven't a clue about cycling, so I'm just sitting there." And the next he said, "And ladies and gentlemen, fellow Dan, fellow this, and whatever." He said, "And our main speaker for this evening, me." And I'm just, me? I had to get on with him.
What were you supposed to speak about?
I have no clue. I was speaking about Liverpool Football Club. I was speaking about the history of Liverpool. I was speaking about maritime history. All these wonderful lads who won VCs. All these great philanthropists.
Yeah.
And you know what I said? And you know what? This is genuine, this, honestly. And I tell you what, I said, Liverpool, I said, if there's anything in this world, I said, we were the first city in the entire world, to bring a gorilla out of Africa in 1848. And that Boardman fella, Chris Boardman, was laughing and said, "Oh," he says, "is that right?"
Not many people know that.
So it was a mishmash of everything. I never had a clue about any. The only fella that you know this fella, the only fella that knew about any cyclists was was it Tommy Simpson?
Yeah, Tommy Simpson, yeah. He won the Tour de
fella.
France, yeah.
He's the only fella.
When I did my talk at the Grove, and I was talking about Shankly and Robert Burns.
Well, there you go, you said Robbie Burns.
They were both born within about 20, 30 miles of each other. They're both socialists. They were both characters. The only difference was Robbie Burns was a womanizer and Shankly was a one-woman man.
Well, there you go, you see. There you go.
They were both geniuses in their own way.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And
I think
Burns
it
is
was
a Scottish Shakespeare.
well, yes. Well, he was the Bars, wasn't he, of
God, yeah,
Scotland?
yeah, some fantastic points.
Robbie Burns, and don't forget, Old Lang Syne and
Yes,
everything else. And Burns,
a
like
man's
he's
a
have a
man for
Burns,
all
like
that.
he's have a Burns. Well, anyway, getting back, what did you think? Getting back now to the our main thing.
On
Uh,
Saturday.
yes, what did you think of
Well,
the game?
I've been looking on the internet and I've seen some critical comments on the internet, as you do sometimes, which does annoy me. And I remember Bob Paisley's famous quote, here we are, top of the league with problems. Because, we didn't play brilliantly, let's be honest. It wasn't our best performance. It's a tough place to go, Crystal Palace. The fans are very passionate. It's a tight stadium, and they were up against it and they were fighting hard and kicking and all sorts. So we didn't really settle down, I don't think. I thought it was a right decision to disallow the penalty. It was a definite foul on Endo. I don't think there was any dispute on that. And how the referee took about 5 minutes to look at all these pictures, it was obvious it was a foul and it was disallowed. The Kwanzaa one as well, I think that probably was a penalty, but I can't see why they played for another minute and then they stopped the game and sent them to that's where VAR just leaves me cold. But once the substitutes came on, after they had the man sent off, I thought we played really well. And Harvey Elliott was a revelation. He came on, changed the game again, and his goal was brilliant. And it was lovely to see Mo get his 200th goal. It's a bit scrappy, but it went in and it was going in. So he was absolutely thrilled, as all the fans were. And I thought our supporters were brilliant. They
No,
never
they
stopped.
always are. Our
Yeah,
supporters, I think that the brilliant. The
yeah.
away supporters are absolutely 100% class,
Yeah.
and that's what they like. And they
And
give.
our defence has had some criticism this year. But I was looking at the league table. We've conceded fewer goals than any other team in the league,
Yes,
including Man City.
yes.
15 goals. That's all. So nothing much wrong there in terms of goals conceded. The only trouble is we keep conceding the first one. Then we
See,
have to fight back.
the points as well,
Amazing,
Joe.
amazing how we've came back so many times from being one down. Shows the mentality of the team.
Well, the point is, about conceding goals and the defence. I think the defence. You just proved it there by saying we've conceded less than any other. And so it has strengthened from last season. And you've got to put that down to the midfield.
Yes.
You've got to put it down to the midfield. And here's a comment. I want you to their comments on this. Oh, hang on. That's not the comment at all.
It's a joke, is it?
Yeah.
Get me other glasses on.
I think, I don't know. I just don't know where the. But anyway, what it was, do you think that we'll play? Do you think Klopp will play the kids on Thursday?
Oh, yes. He's got to, really. He's got to. Give them a chance. Give all the guys that deserve a chance who are on the brink, get them in the team and let them go for it. We've nothing to lose, have we?
Yeah, that's David Shakespeare who mentioned it. Do you think Klopp will play the young kids on Thursday? So
There's still a couple of the guys in there, obviously. You won't just put the under 21 team out, I don't think. But I think you should give people like Doak, people like the two fullbacks, Kwanzaa, all these guys I think should play. Probably Curtis, because he hasn't had too much game time.
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott probably as well.
Kwanzaa, he'll be playing.
Yeah.
So, we could have a strong side out with these, players. Even Kelleher, you can say that he's the first teamer. So he'll play in goal. And you will have Gakpo, yeah, he's bound to play. Yeah. He's bound to play. What do you think of it? I have to say this, and I keep saying it, about Diaz. and his form, because I'll be going on about Nunes and his form in
Yeah.
a moment. What do you think of Diaz's form at the moment, George?
Well, he's had a lot on his plate, I think, as well. He had a bad injury, then his father was kidnapped, and not making excuses for him. He's not playing that bad, but he's not playing to the level he was when he first came in. He was dynamic, and I think he'll come good again. He's got a lot of pace. He keeps cutting inside a bit too much. I like to see him go past the winger on the outside now and again. Because Man City, Grealish does that a lot as well. But he's quick, Frank, and he can score goals. I mean, he scored a goal there, was offside. It wasn't
Yeah,
offside by much.
and it was a good goal as well.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about him.
And I think Nunes should take a leaf out of his book, because Diaz chipped him, and
Yeah,
Nunes doesn't chip. He
no,
just blasts.
he just
He doesn't chip. He doesn't vary. He doesn't bend the ball. He doesn't do anything. He just
yeah.
blasts it.
Needs to be more clinical. Needs to be more clinical in front of goal.
I think he does, because we could be. Imagine young Elliot and Mo, right? Suppose it was Nunes who was in that position where Mo was when he hit the ball, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if he had the ball when young Harvey was going up and hitting the ball, we could have lost the game.
Yeah.
Because it's the chances that he actually misses.
Yeah, he's missed more than he's scored.
He has, and that's wrong.
I know.
That's wrong. To be honest, I'd bring him on as an impact player. I really would. Rather than start him. Because he's all.
Well,
Have you noticed how many times he gets caught offside as well? Have you noticed that?
that's because he's trying to go on the shoulder and get an advantage. But I'd like to see Jota back playing again quicker. If we get Jota back in, I agree with you. Probably put Jota in and put Nunes as a impact player coming on. But I love Nunes, his energy and his effort and his passion and commitment.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and he's very enthusiastic. But look, he's there to score goals.
Yes, he is.
He's a striker. He's there to score goals. And as you said, George, he's missing more than, he's scored. If he was scoring, even if he put half of them away that he misses, and these are sitters. These are not.
They're easy chances. Yeah, you're right. They're easy chances. That one he hit the bar with last week, the one he hit the post with about a month ago, and in a cup end. And they're easy chances for a quality striker. He doesn't have to do much. Just put it in a net.
Well, look at the ball that Mo Salah gave him, and he ran onto it and fell over the ball.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're so simple chances to put away. Imagine Ian Rush, Fernando Torres, Robbie Fowler, any of them, any striker, St. John, go back to Roger Hunt, go back to any of them.
Yeah.
Well,
the great strikers, Shankly used to say this, the great strikers, if the keeper comes out, they go round him. If he stays in his line, they put it past him. People like Dennis Law and Jimmy Greaves and all those great strikers in the past and the current ones that we got, like Rushy, right through to the ones playing today, like Kane. Even Kane, Harry Kane, he puts it away. And that's what they need to do. That's what Nunes needs to do. I think he will, Frank. I think we're going to get a lot of goals from him over the next season or two.
Well, that's Soul Boy France says. Who scored the longest goal at Anfield? St. John from Hunt's Cross.
Yeah, that's right, the cracker. That's like that sign in the church in Simon St. Jude's Church.
Oh, yeah.
The Lord came back and somebody's written move St. John to outside right.
That was brilliant. That's outside that church.
Well, that was genuine. I saw that sign. We lived in Anfield Road at the time. It's amazing. Scouse humour. You can't beat it. You're right, you swallowed something.
Oh, no, I was just laughing at that,
I thought you swallowed your teeth.
Oh, just nuts, just absolute nuts. And Charlie Wood says the worst statement on the telly is he hasn't scored at Anfield for 10 years. 2 seconds later, he scores, says Charlie Wood. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know who he's talking about there. And Dorothy says St. John was pronounced like that. Though, Frank, if you go back to works of literature, brilliant was Ian, such a fine footballer and a great guy. Used to carry a photo of him and Peter Thompson on my school bus pass. Totally smitten, says Dorothy.
Yeah, they were both amazing players. Peter and I were great pals. We lived together for 3 years. Same digs. What a man, what a player.
Peter Thompson.
Oh man, what a
An
player.
unbelievable player. Unbelievable. And as JK says, exactly, George Fletcher on TNT didn't half stop regarding Palace's red card Saturday. They are the worst agenda-driven channel out there when it concerns us, worse than Sky Sports. So they've been talking between themselves, and it was the red card. But what got me was it shocked me actually, because as I'm watching it, we're playing on and going up to their ends, and then all of a sudden it gets pulled back after the 1.5 minutes of play.
That's
now
right.
The referee should just blow up.
Yeah,
he should just blow up, not play. Someone could get injured, George.
I've always said that, Frank. Same with the offsides. The ball goes through, the keeper comes out, dives at the feet of the striker, could break his neck, and then the guy puts his flag up. I don't understand why they do that these days. It's crazy.
It says, and someone will get seriously injured. They're bound to. They're bound to, because of their stupidity, and that's what it is. It's stupidity. It's go back to your playing days, even just go back a few years ago when the linesman put his flag up right away.
Yeah,
right away. If you're offside, or there's a foul, right
sometimes they got it right, sometimes they got it wrong, but over the season it balanced out. And you had an argument in the pub, and like you do now, but at least it was instant. The crowd knew what happened. If you scored a goal, the goal's allowed by the referee or disallowed, and the game goes on. Now, everybody scores a goal. You can't celebrate. You just wait around until the VAR comes up. It looks to me like they're looking for reasons to disallow the goal rather than reasons to allow it. And the handball rule is crazy. I mean, that goal at Aston Villa the other day, the Arsenal goal at the end, I mean, that was ridiculous how that goal was disallowed.
Pathetic. And it's just like the Diaz goal against Spurs. That was shocking, that.
Well, you see who's on the VAR this week in the United game. The same guy that did that, the guy that caused the problem at Spurs, is on the VAR. Yeah. The guy that made that mistake and disallowing Diaz's goal. Can't believe that. He's been given the Liverpool.
Well, that's it. And he goes on to referee more games. And it's the same fella about Manchester City when you see that mad picture of Haaland, when he took the picture and he's screaming at the ref. But it's inconsistent. And as someone said to me, no, it's consistent because they're consistent making errors. I said, you're right. And that's it.
Human beings.
Do you think VAR is a good thing, though, George? Be honest.
Well, it's not the VAR. It's the people that are operating it. I mean, but if it was down to me, I would only have VAR for goal line technology, and maybe whether it's in or out of the penalty box for a penalty. I think everything else should be left to the linesman and the referee. That's my view. Too late now. It's not going to. You won't put the genie back in the box. Now we've got it. It'll stay. But they have to amend it. Offside as well. Offside rules so contentious. You have fine margins. Somebody's big toes over the line. And a brilliant goal is disallowed. I mean, they need to have a bit of a space an obvious offside, not one of these 2 minutes to find out whether it is or it isn't. That's my view, Frank.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're right anyway. But it's all the controversy about VAR, as you said, will not go away,
No.
and VAR will not go away either. So we're back to, in my opinion, square one, where we complain and complain and complain, and nothing will get done, and there'll still be terrible mistakes made, terrible mistakes where it could cost games. It could
I do
cost.
think, though, I do think it should be more open. I think there should be some dialogue that the public and the crowd can hear. Like the
Yeah.
rugby. You watch a rugby union, you know exactly what the referee is saying to the TV, exactly what the rule is, what the decision is. It's crazy when people pay a fortune to go to games. You've got 50,000 in a stadium. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're just waiting for something to come up on a screen and whether they should celebrate or not. Can't be right. That takes the excitement away from the explosion of joy when you score a goal.
Funny enough, I was only talking about that last year or something. This Gary Rigby says I was on the Isle of Man a few years ago, and I thought the accent sounded a bit Scouse there. And you're right. That's only a trivia thing anyway.
Could
And
be.
the Awakened Phoenix. What a name.
That's a cracker.
Evening. The Awakened. That's unbelievable.
Phoenix and the films.
Anyway, let's get on to these great comments here. Mark Simons, do you think Joke and Conor Bradley will get a game in the UEFA Cup, George, as they are our future? And we need to see that right side without Trent and Salah in a competitive game.
Yeah, that's a brilliant point, and I agree with that. Yeah, I think so, definitely. These boys need a stage to play on to see whether they've got it or not. And what better stage than a Europa League in a big game, and they can rise to the occasion, do the confidence good, and, there's nothing to lose, really. I would definitely do that, yeah.
That's a cracker. That is a cracking comment, actually.
Yeah, the future of the club, yeah.
Well, we did say that he should play, shouldn't he? Young Doak should play.
Definitely should play him. Leave Salah out.
And young Bradley, they should be playing. But we've got to mix it up, haven't we? We've got to put seasoned.
Yes.
I like Curtis Jones, for example. I think Curtis will play.
Yeah.
Keller will play. Joe Gomez, I think he'll play.
Yeah, Joe Gomez, yeah. Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Kwanzaa. I think they'll be, and Harvey Elliott. I think
Harvey play him from the start. Yeah, give him 90 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what we've got. We'll have a little mixture of senior players and these young kids, the likes of Doak and the likes of Conor Bradley. And don't forget Kwanzaa, Gerald Kwanzaa, he's just learning his trade as well.
Yeah, he's ready.
Do you know what? It's strange the way you could see that penalty that was given, Crystal Palace when they scored from.
Yeah,
and Kwanzaa, do you think that was a penalty?
50-50. I think his toe did catch the guy's foot, but nobody complained. I never saw a single Crystal Palace guy appeal. So really, it was a bit. I thought it was VAR again, trying to find a reason.
There's no stud showing or anything like that. There's nothing.
The game could have went on quite happily.
And they just went together. Didn't they? It wasn't as though he's rushing in, with a rest challenge or anything. I was surprised that a penalty was given. I thought it was
because the game was going on for a minute and a half.
Yeah,
I saw Trent's face when the referee blew. Trent went,
he was right over to him. What for? What's that about?
I don't know.
We need to get a card done of they're talking between themselves. Elliot's goal was amazing, says Dorothy. It was absolutely amazing.
I love the way he timed it. He timed it nicely. Came inside, took his time, and bang.
But he had to place it,
Yeah,
He had to place it,
brilliant.
and he placed it spot on, didn't he? And that's why the goal was amazing, to be honest.
It was. Came
But
again at the right time.
But again, I still think he's a better impact player.
Seems to be at the moment, because he is doing that every game, isn't he? He's coming on, he's changing the game.
He's got the energy, you see. He's got the
Yes.
energy. And that's why I think we should play him on Thursday, start him rather than come on.
Yeah.
And give him a start from the start of it, if you know what I mean. Let him play a full game, but bring him on in Premiership games, the important games, as an impact player.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, I think I agree, Frank. I agree with that.
Yeah. Even Charlie says Roy wasn't happy on Saturday, and he wasn't. Klopp wasn't even happy.
Yeah.
Klopp wasn't happy. But, things go round. And
yeah, I think Roy Hodgson now, it's about time he was retiring now. It's a very, very stressful job, a manager at that level. And he's been in that game now for 40-odd years. I mean, it must come a time when you think, is it really what I want to do at this time in my life,
Yeah. Is it a good comment? But it's more historical. And it's about the city. And I say this all the time myself, when I'm giving lectures or whatever. Liverpool was the second city of the empire, and we would have lost World War II without Liverpool. But still, we get the most prejudice and discrimination in the country, and we do.
Well, a lot of that comes from London, doesn't it? From the central government.
Well, it was ever since Thatcher, but I don't want to get into that because.
No, keep out the politics. Let's stick to the football.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I'm going to do a one-off special with a fellow historian, and it's about the issues. It's about Liverpool and what we went through from managed decline right through to Hillsborough and everything we're going to look at, but also the Wales issues. The Wales issues.
That'd be good. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I'll be talking about not migration now, but the migrants that were coming into Liverpool to get to the United States of America, from the Jews to the Italians to the Irish to everybody. Loads of Germans came here, French came here. Lots of them came through to Liverpool to get over to the United States of America. So be talking about things like that. And that's a very, Gary Rigby there, that was a cracking comment. Really good. So we'll be covering that as well. I don't know when it's going to be honest. I really don't. And David says there is something for us to get our teeth into, George.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we've got now 12 or 13 away games to come. And most of the big teams you've already played on their stadiums. We've got Arsenal and Man United next 2 weeks. Huge games, massive games. If we win them, Christmas for top of the league. They're out of the way. Then you got a lot of games coming up after Christmas where they're very, very winnable. So yeah, I think we've got as much chance as anybody else currently in the top four.
Well, okay, that's me as well. That's me because we'll start talking about Manchester United. That's, forget Thursday at the moment, but we'll start talking about because you won't be on. I'm having, by the way, the next podcast, the football podcast, will be going out Friday night, same time, 8:00 Friday night. So if you've got nothing to do, tune in on that one. So I'm going to ask George about the Man United game on Sunday. And I'm going to ask him, with the stand, the new stand, the Annie Road stands and people. We don't know how many it's not going to fill the old stand, by
I
the
think
way.
it'll be 57,000, they said. So there'll be another 7,000.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about this Man United game? Will it be pivotal for what we're talking about? Is Liverpool going to win the league?
Well, first thing I would say, and Klopp would probably say the same, I don't think we should be complacent. I don't think we should take it for granted we're going to stuff in 5 and 6-0. Football doesn't work like that. I hope it does, but I don't think so. I think it will be a tough game. They're under the cosh at the moment on a lot of fronts. The manager's under the cosh, the team's under the cosh. But by all the things looking at it, we should win comfortably. We've got a better team spirit, a better manager, got the crowd behind us, an extra 7,000 people behind the Anfield Road goal. The crowd will be up for it big time, as they always are at Anfield in a big night or a big day. So I don't see any way we can lose the game, but I'd like to see us really give them a good hiding again. But I think we'll win the game, Frank, and I think that the team will be up for it, the manager will be up for it, and you can bet your bottom dollar the crowd will be up for it.
Yeah, absolutely, because with the crowd behind the Reds, behind the team, because the Man United game, let's be honest, the atmosphere is electric.
It is,
It really is electric. Right,
and that captain's got himself booked, so he's not playing.
Oh yeah.
And they've left Rashford out of the squad tonight, so he's on the bad books.
Well, there's Daniel Merry says, Maguire out Sunday. So whatever that is, he could be injured. He could have got injured tonight.
I'd rather he was playing.
Harry Maguire, he's awful, him.
Awful.
And remember when, they were saying when we bought Virgil, paying 80 million for him.
It sounds like he must have been injured tonight, Frank. Sounds like somebody, Daryl's watching the match and he's got himself injured in that game against Bayern.
Well, if you look at when I was mentioning about when we bought Virgil, people were saying, "Oh, spending all that money for him and all this," and then all of a sudden, Virgil's the best centre half in the world. Even today, he was bad last season because the whole of the team was. Let's be honest. But now we know, since he's had the captain's armbands, he's back to his best. He's back to the Virgil best that we knew, right? So, but when they brought him, Maguire, what a dreadful fight.
Yeah. I think we'll have to play well. We'll have to play well below our best to lose that game on Sunday. I think if we play anywhere near the way we've been playing with the players we've got, we should win. I would imagine we should win. I think the Arsenal game will be a tougher one.
Yeah, the Arsenal game definitely more tougher than the Man United game. Because, but I don't know. We can match. We can beat Man United. That's the way. That's the way I look at it. We can beat them. Especially playing at Anfield, especially with the crowd behind us. And don't forget that we're determined as well. We're top of the league. And I think it's got into the lads that we'll stay here. We can't play any worse than we did against Crystal Palace. But that's the sign of a great team.
Yeah, because those games have to be battled away from home, against the crowd. It's not easy. Anfield's a bit different. You get the crowd behind you. You're used to the stadium, and you can perform. When you go away, you have to fight for it. That's why we've been so good this year. We've won so many games from coming from behind, and especially away from home. In previous seasons, we would have lost that game, I think, against Crystal Palace.
Oh, it was a well-lost game. Not only that, the games that we did win as well after coming from behind, especially against Newcastle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
10 men.
We should never have lost against Spurs. That was so lucky.
People have always said about, the definition of people saying we were robbed. I've said, no, we were cheated. It was a cheated, not robbed. Cheated.
It was great. Yeah.
We cheated after
we never get that goal back.
Yeah, That's what I mean about VAR. VAR has to be consistent for me. It has to be. But that game, against Spurs, that Diaz goal onside, and nothing was done about it. Well, nothing could be done about it, to be honest. But when people say we were robbed, no, we weren't. We were cheated.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between being robbed and cheated. It's a simple.
I can't believe that guy's back in charge on Sunday.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Brian Headley says, lads, I'll be honest, I wasn't pleased with all the movement of the front three. Yes, it was all into traffic, but they should have given us more than that. Even Mo's shot was going into the pack of players only for the deflection. But we are still doing the business. Once they slotted us back, they will play.
It ended up in the onion bag.
That's the beauty of Mo Salah.
Yeah.
If he sees the whites of the goal, and he'll have a go.
Yeah.
Now, if it would have been anybody else, trying to, place it up, whatever, or just blast it, he did something. He hit it. It deflected. It deflected, and it went in. Even if it didn't deflect, it still could have gone in. So
I think there's been a few chances this year where I've saw Mo, and he hits the ball quite softly, and it goes straight to the keeper. And he needs to just put his foot through it a couple of times, I think. He does mostly, but just in the last few weeks, a couple of good chances, and he shook his head and he's disappointed with it. When he's just rolled it to the keeper. He wants to really give it a welly.
Well, I was watching something today on YouTube, and it was all the goals, the 200 goals scored. You've just got to look at the goals he scored. Incredible.
It is incredible. Yeah, it is.
Incredible. And don't forget, it's not so much as doing a one-off, where lots of players do a one-off, and you'll never score another goal like it. But Mo scores these goals.
Yeah.
Give you an example. I'll give you two examples. One, the goal he scored against Roma, his old club, against the best goalkeeper in the world, Alisson, when he put us in the corner in the Champions League quarter-final or semi-final. And the one he scored against Chelsea, right? They were the same, but he scored loads like that. Right?
Yes.
The one he scored against Tottenham, where he just went around, and put it in. Yeah. And then he did the same against Manchester City. Then he did the same against Watford. So we do one-offs.
Dancing past players. Brilliant.
He's incredible player.
When you look at him running towards the defenders don't know what they're going to do. Do you remember against Man United last year? When he turned Martinez into a corkscrew? I mean, Martinez, 1 minute he was facing the Kenny Dalglish stand. Next minute he was facing the Anfield. And Mo was just past him.
Absolutely. So they're the type of goals. And don't forget, you've got Alisson as well. Alisson sees him, and he just hits it, and he's away then, Mo. He's away.
Through the middle. Yeah, scored a great goal against United,
Yeah, right through, and he's away. He's such a fantastic...
I'll tell you what, he's some goalkeeper, Alisson, isn't he? What a save that was to the Crystal Palace lad when he hit it from the penalty spot. And Alisson saved it. I can't believe he saved that. And then
one at the end. One at the end.
Yeah.
The lad put it down into the corner.
Yeah.
It was the very last few seconds to go.
It was, He's worth a lot of points to us.
Of course he is. Not against young Kelleher, not against Quahim Kelleher.
No, he's a good goalkeeper, Kelleher, but he's not as
he wouldn't have got them. That's the big difference. He would never have saved them. I'll tell you the best save he's made this season and it was against Newcastle.
Yes,
When they
remember
were
that.
1-0 up, and the ball came, I forget his name, and he volleyed it or half volleyed it, and it was going up. It was going in the far left-hand corner,
Oh, yeah.
and he got to it.
Yeah.
It was just incredible, and that's what kind of a goalkeeper we are. I always remember. I've mentioned this before. I always remember I was talking to Tommy Smith, and he turned around. He said we were all right because we tried to keep the opposition 25 to 30 yards away from our goal, because if they started shooting from that distance, there's no way that Clem could be beaten. And he
Yeah.
was right. The only player I ever seen in one of those was Bethany. I was in the Cop, and Bethany, San Etienne,
Yes.
and
Oh,
Anfield,
yeah. That was a hell of a goal.
scored, and he hit it. And the ball, George, it was going straight, and it was swerving.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was swerving. And Clemo, he didn't know. He says he admitted it as well, didn't he? He said, I didn't know where it was going to go, because it was going one way and it's coming another. He said, I missed it.
I seen that Peter Schmeichel made a bit of a bad comment about Alisson. He's saying that he's not a bad goalkeeper, but he's no good with his feet, and Klopp won't drop him because he makes some good saves. I thought, what's he talking about, Schmeichel? Unbelievable,
Yeah.
stupid thing to say.
I think it's because someone mentioned a few weeks ago that Alisson is the best goalkeeper. Is the best goalkeeper in the Premiership. He surpasses everybody, even in the past, and that included Schmeichel.
Michael, maybe he's got himself in a twist. Yeah.
Yes, of course. So I think he's had a go at that. I forget.
Well, if he criticises Alisson, what does he think of Onana?
Oh, exactly.
He's a big balloon. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, they let De Gea go, and De Gea is a far better goalkeeper than Onana.
Yeah, without a doubt, yeah. He's a disaster, Onana, so far. Some of the goals he's let in, which is good.
Well, as he's just talking about him, Brian says, Big Ali again, lads. Got us the points. Think now you're right about Nunes, though, Frank. Yeah. Darwin, he needs to.
He'll be chanting his name on Sunday.
Yeah. Would you play him Sunday?
I think we'll probably have to play him Sunday unless you play Gakpo, because unless Jota's fit. Because you've got Salah, you've got Diaz, and you've got Nunes, and you've got Gakpo. That's your front players, isn't it? Who else have we got?
Do you reckon that, okay, with the likes of, I'm going to say this to you, George, with the likes of Matip, and I want you to do this because I've got to go and I've got to take it. I've got to take a tablet at 9 o'clock, and it's 1:15 now. So here's a thing. Just carry on, please, George. I'm awfully sorry, and I'll get back to you after I take it. Right. Come January, now with the likes of, we are struggling now for a forward. With the likes of Matip as well, that he's played his last game for Liverpool, in my opinion. There's no new contracts for him at the end of the season. Forget about that. What do you think? Do you think that we should go after a forward in the January, and also a defensive mid? Because I'll be coming back to Endo, by the way. A defensive mid and a centre back in January. And if we were getting one, what one would you go after? I don't mean the name of the player, but what position would you go after? I won't be a minute, George. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think at the moment we've got a pretty strong line of frontline players. We've got some of the best front men in the country at the moment, with Salah, which we've just said before is unbelievable. Nunes, although I know he gets a bit of criticism, but if you look at the effort he puts in, the work he puts in, the crowd don't love him for the wrong reason. They love his enthusiasm, they love his passion. It's just that he needs to be a little bit more careful when he gets through one-on-one and stick the ball away. It's a pity Jota's not playing at the moment, because I think Jota's a true goal scorer. It's one of these players that gets in the box and he knows what he's doing. He picks his spot. You see him go drifting wide, sees where the goalkeeper is and slots it in the corner. And then Diaz on the left wing. I mean, he's he's fast, he's quick, and I think he's gone through probably a little bit of a period where he's not been 100% at his best. But when he is at his best, he's a fantastic player. And I think the team at the moment, yes, I think we probably do need a defensive midfield player. But Endo, to be fair, has come in and he's done a good job. I mean, he scored a great goal there to pull us back from the brink in the last match at Anfield when we won 4-3. And he played well. So he's filled in quite well, I think, in midfield. But I still think, that Alexander-Arnold is a better in midfield, and we can get him in there and get him sort of performing like he did in the last 20 minutes at Crystal Palace. It would be beneficial. So I think, defensive midfield player, I think, has been a priority for quite a while. Up front, we could always do with another player up front, but it'd be interesting to see in January what Klopp does and what he goes for. I mean, I think they have to bring somebody else in, because they'll have to consolidate between now and the end of the season. And I've always said that when you're doing well, when you're up at the top, that's when you have to build. You can't be complacent and sit back on your laurels, because you might have injuries. We've always had injuries, But the midfield, I think, as Frank said in the past, is 100% better than it was last year. We've got an embarrassment of riches in there now, if you include Harvey and Curtis on top of Szoboszlai, McAllister, Trent, if he comes in midfield, Gakpo, and Gravenberch. So we've got one hell of a team potentially at the moment, and it's only going to get better. And I think Jurgen will keep building, and his team can go places. And I do think right up there at the top of the league, if not in the first two.
Well, I've always been.
I see you, yeah.
I've always been screaming out for a defensive midfielder. Now, someone mentioned, and I never give this a thought, about moving. Joe Gomez is a versatile player.
Yes.
He's a versatile player. He's quick as well. And he can go forward. All right, there's mistakes in him. But there's mistakes in everybody.
He's been playing well.
And someone mentioned, just suggested, how about putting Joe Gomez so that McAllister can play in his rightful position as a DM, as a defensive mid, a number 6, And I said, to be honest, I agree with that. Give him a try if we're not going to buy a DM. And I know that you mentioned about Enzo, but that frightened me against Crystal Palace, because he was caught dawdling on the ball. You cannot afford to dawdle on the ball. All right, he was fouled in one, which was lucky enough that, it was pulled back to give that foul rather than the penalty that was given right after it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because McAllister's been getting caught on the ball a few times as well, hasn't he? Because he's probably playing out of position, and he's injured as well, by the way, I think, for Sunday.
Yeah, it hasn't healed, has it? The stitches in his knee.
Yeah, but that's not a bad call with Gomez. I mean, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Maybe they should try Gomez out in the game on Thursday as a defensive midfield.
Yeah. See, and people are complaining now about Szoboszlai, because they say when Szoboszlai and Gravenberch play together, they're doing the same thing.
Very similar players, aren't they? Yeah.
So, it's, as you said, there's a richness of midfielders there now, with the players that you mentioned, but you can't play the two type of same players, because I don't know,
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny on Saturday when we had the players we've signed playing there, like McAllister and Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, we weren't performing that brilliantly. But when the young lads came on, Curtis and Harvey, who are unsung heroes, turned the game round.
Absolutely. And that, albeit that Harvey, he scored the goal and everything else and whatever. And yet Curtis doesn't get a mention. And I'm made up that you mentioned that he was one of them who changed the game.
He laid the goal on, didn't he, for
Yeah, Curtis Jones, I think he's a great player. I really do. And I always criticised him, for a few years. I did. I said that he's living off the goal that he scored against Everton that time. The corner. And I said he lives off that. But since he got his opportunity with about 10 games to go, the back end of last season.
Yeah, he was magnificent. Yeah.
He was brilliant. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll tell you another great game he had, which went unnoticed, and it was in the Champions League, if you remember. I think he was man of the match. It was against Porto. At Porto. He was unbelievable. And that's the talent that lad has. But he's brought to the fore now. And he's a very, very good player. He's a very good player.
He is.
But as someone said, I don't know whether you agree, I'm like that 50-50. He needs to buck up a little more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He's still a young player as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
That was the youngest midfield we've ever had playing for us against Crystal Palace when Trent moved into midfield. You had Trent, right. Harvey and Curtis.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that was our youngest enger midfield trio played in the first team.
And 2 Scousers as well in midfield.
2 Scousers as well, yeah, which is brilliant.
So, Kev, it's Marios.
Oh, good.
It's Joker. There he
is. Just finished the marathon.
Mr. Marathon Man, Mr. Parachute, Mr. Shark Hunter, Mr. Moon Man. He's been everywhere. He's been around.
Midnight over there.
I had an astronomer on last night, and I was talking about Venus, and things like that. And I was thinking of Marios, because I think Marios has been to Venus and back on his own. Without a parachute, and there's the good man himself, and there he is. Marios!
Hey! It's great to see you, lads. How are you? George, especially you, I have not seen you for many times. How are you?
Good stuff, Marios. Good. Nice to see you.
We're good,
how is it on top?
We were discussing about the Man United game, Marios, just a little while back, and how pivotal it is, this particular game, and it really is to make a statement. And as George said, Man United will be up for it, but so will we. So will we be up for it. So, what's your take on this game coming Sunday?
Yeah, I'm really confident about this game because I think we are in a great moment, and in terms of the position in the league, and the United are full of problems, and but I have a full confidence and trust to Klopp that he will not use this information to deal with the United game, relaxed and all these kind of things. He will not underestimate United. He knows very well what does mean to face Man United, what does mean this derby, and he's ready for it, and he will get his players ready for a great derby. So I think we will have the seriousness to face United on Sunday. So I'm really confident about the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And George and I were, and the people, who were commenting, were also discussing about Darwin and Darwin's form and missing chances. Now, I'd like you to comment on this particular comment that's just come through, where it says, and it's by Mark Simons, when you play against, park the bus teams, then Darwin has less space and time. He thrives on space when we counter attack. which we haven't really done in the last few games. But he is due a couple, and what he means by that, it's the chances, the easy chances that he's missed. So, would you like to comment on that? Is he due a couple, and does he thrive in the attack rather, the spaces? What do you think, Marios?
Yeah, but there are many times in the games that he misses easy chances, and we all think, "Oh, come on, bang it in." But I think he is very useful in the team, and in terms of the energy and the spaces, as Mark Simmons says, and I think he makes a great job for the team. Yeah, he's a striker. He needs to score. He needs to gain confidence back, because he started the season very well in terms of scoring, but when you are a striker, you are not scoring in 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, then you are starting feeling losing confidence to yourself. So that's why I want him to score, and maybe Sunday is the time to do it. But yeah, I really love Darwin. I have to say, I really love him.
I think these are the games as well. These are the games when he will step up. I think fantastic atmosphere on Sunday. 7,000 extra fans behind the goal up in the Anfield Road end. Been saying before, it'd be a tremendous atmosphere in the ground, and lovely to see him bang a couple on at the weekend. It would be fantastic for his confidence. Crowd love him, and I think he's got all to play for on the weekend.
And he scored two the last fixture at Anfield
Yeah.
against the nil fixture.
Yeah, that's right.
So
he's always there or thereabouts.
So he can, and he'll frighten them. By the way, he'll frighten Manchester United.
When that crowd start chanting his name, yeah.
He frightens. Well, he frightens anybody. To be honest, he just frightens anybody. And don't forget,
Him and Mo.
Against Fulham, when we were 2-1 down, he played, didn't he? He got that ball. He played for the ball, and he put us across the goal. Which is where we scored from. So he doesn't he's not just like one of these players who just runs and misses sitters. He also contributes.
Yeah,
he contributes.
Yeah.
The Sheffield United game when he won the ball back in the winning goal there. Well, the second goal. It's a Bosley.
Yeah. Sheffield United was screaming for the foul, but it wasn't.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Yeah. Ball, and he just
picks the Bosley out.
Yeah. So these are the games that, as you said there, Marios, you love the man, but so does the fans. But as Georgie and I said, and we did agree, he has to start putting the chances away.
Yes.
He has to. He can't keep on missing them.
Must be frustrating for him, really, because he's missed them real sitters.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Could have had another 6 goals, easy.
Yeah, he needs it first and foremost for himself, to gain back his confidence to himself.
Yeah, definitely.
David Shakespeare, I've got to say yes to this, lad. Yeah, David, if you're still there with us, I'll have you on sometime. If you're on there, send me a message on that messenger thing. Not that I read them, but send me a message anyway, and I'll see what I can do for you.
That name, he should send you a poem, Frank.
Sorry?
He should send you a poem.
One of his sonnets, one of his major speeches.
Yeah.
Do I compare?
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Yeah. Like I'm the poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and has heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sounds and fury, signifying nothing. How about that then?
Great stuff.
Soul boy, Odson was moaning about the bookings, but both where bookings stopped the free kick from being taken and stopped the counter attack. That's what he was moaning about. It's just.
Look what happened to us at Spurs. I mean, Jota should never have been booked at Spurs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for. Let's see this. Like Brian Edley says, wouldn't it be ironic if we win the league and we can all look back at those Newcastle and Spurs away games? Not the Spurs away games, the Newcastle game. Yeah,
Newcastle one.
Exactly.
Don't want to look back at the Spurs one.
Yeah.
That would be great.
A nightmare.
Right. I can't. I'd love our lads to comment. Give us a. Brian Edley says perfect game for McAllister to go up the pitch, and it is a perfect game for him to go up the pitch. But we've got to play a defensive mid.
He won't be playing.
Will he be ready? Will he be ready for the game?
I'm not sure. I read something today saying he might not be able to play. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I think he posted something on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes. That doesn't look.
Does he say he's going to be fit, Marius?
No, he doesn't really say that. He says that he will try to be back as soon as possible. That's not so optimistic. Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't sound good then for weekend, does it?
Yeah. Sounds like a start of the recovery. So I don't think he will be ready.
Well, what I said as well before about Gomez, if we're not going to buy a defensive mid, put him as a number 6, Gomez, because he's so versatile. He can play right back, he can play centre back, he can play left back. He has been playing left back a couple of games this season. So why not put him? And Charlie Wood says, I've been saying that about Gomez, but we still need a defensive midfielder. What's your take on a defensive midfielder? And, if we're not going to get one, would you put Gomez, Joe Gomez, as a defensive mid, try him out there? What Marius?
Yeah, but I have to this kind of appreciation moment for Gomez, because he plays really well lately, and I was impressed once again with his running last Saturday, and I think he's in a great condition. But what happens if he's injured? So, yeah, look, the depth of the squad is still strong, but I think we still need to go on and take a defensive midfielder. And maybe we can win the league without bringing in one, but I think that the best choice is to go on and buy one.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a very long time.
By doing that.
Because I think if we can get, I think it's, let's just say hello to this fella. Carmino Pile. Ciao amico mio.
Carmen.
Where is he from?
Italy, unless he lives down in Stoke somewhere. I don't know. He's got a Italian name there. Fantastic name. And as Arsenal for life. Nice to see Desmond Lynam. Who's he talking about? Do you know what? He doesn't act like Desmond Lynam. When Desmond Lynam used to come on and see the BBC stuff. Our kid looked the Desmond Lynam. Anyway, tell Mary, what do you think of this one here? For me, Paulina solves everything.
He's a good player. He's a good player for Fulham.
Brilliant.
He was ready to go to Bayern last summer.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. It's one of their
Someone
best players.
suggested, funny enough, only before, someone said, not on here, on Jamie's pod, someone mentioned, I think it was Jamie himself, he said, we could get him on loan in January with a view to buy in the summer. Now, Pauline, he is a very, very good
Quality
player.
yeah.
He was great against us for Fulham. He was great against us. He mopped up everything, didn't he?
Yeah. They're flying high at the moment, aren't they? They've scored like 13 goals the last 3 games. 2 5-0s and a 4-3 against us. Yeah. A form team. Yeah, he's good, him.
I just want to get hang on. David Shakespeare says, how do I private message you about coming on? You'll have to find out. I can't give me email out on the show, can I? I really can't. I can't give me phone number because I'll be inundated with a phone. I get inundated. My phone goes all the time. It really does. And it pings with messages. And so does... Look, if you're on Facebook, David, just look me up and send me a message.
Message, yes. Direct message on Messenger, yeah.
On Messenger. But there are 2 Messenger things. There's one that you and I could chat all day about. But there's another one, which is like, I don't know what it is, but it's all these hookup things, all these girls. And sometimes, the likes of, say, Marios, I'm just saying this, for example, could message me. David Shakespeare could message me, and I'll go on that one, but I don't look at them, you see, because they're mostly all these young girls who...
You don't be looking at that one, Frank.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Nancy won't like that.
But anyway, try to message me. Send me, I don't use. Oh yeah, he said I messaged you on Facebook. I'll have a look, David. I'll have a look. I promise you, I'll have a look after the show and see if we're all right. Or if you can get hold of Jason Pennington, he's the producer. Have a look anyway.
Funny noise that.
No, well, I'd sooner have Kenny Rogers singing than Des Liner. What's all this?
Kenny Rogers.
They're after your pension, Frank. That's them girls still after me pension.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, Frank. Yeah.
Thanks, Jonathan. Oh, as Darryl says, so listen. This is not. We were talking as well, Marios, about Thursday. The game in the Europa League, and one of the lads mentioned, George and I have mentioned this. We did discuss it, and it was a very important one. Would you play all the kids? With a few, we George and I agreed, but with a few, like the likes of Joe Gomez, the likes of Kelleher,
yes,
the likes of Kwanzaa, and some of those players mixed in. What's your take? Harvey Elliott as well. What's your take?
Yes, definitely. I think there is no need to play to force players that are in the starting lineup and all this kind of thing that play a crucial role in the team to play in this game. There is no need to do it. And I remember in the December of 2020 when we played, I can't remember the opponent. It was the last game week of the Champions League group stage, and there was no need for Salah to play in the starting lineup.
No.
And I can't remember the opponent, but we are all shouting, "Why does he play Salah?"
Yeah.
And I think Klopp is now more mature than when he was, and I think he will not play, you know, players like Salah in this game. I think we will play a mix, as you said, with kids and players from the rotation part of the team, because you cannot put all the kids together uh, like it is a friendly game, because that will not help the kids. Also, they need some experienced players
Experience with them.
like
Yes.
like Jones and Elliot, of course.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Klopp will do, because he knows that it's very important to rotate the team, especially in this part of the season, in this busy part of the season.
It's a great opportunity for these young players as well.
Yes, of
Opportunity
course.
for them to show what they can do on a big stage.
Well, Daryl Merry, let me just go through these. These are good comments here. Daryl Merry says, "Yep, don't play one first teamer. I wouldn't play Mo Salah, no matter if Mo wants to play. I wouldn't play him, to be
No,
honest."
I wouldn't play him.
And Brian says, "Absolutely, lads. Play as many kids as possible. It would be insane to do anything otherwise. May give Kanate 30 minutes. That's a good shout."
Yeah, but don't want to risk injuries. Don't want any
No,
injuries
we don't.
the weekend.
And I'm sorry. And as Daryl Merry says, give Doak a run.
Yeah.
And Cade Gordon Thursday,
Yeah.
Bobby Clark, etc. So what about those? Doak has got to play. He has to play.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, take over Salah. But what about the young Cade Gordon as well and Bobby Clark?
Yeah, the fullback, yeah.
Fullbacks.
Fullbacks.
And Conor Bradley and Scanlon as well. You've got that young Scanlon.
Yes.
Scanlon's a
There's
very
a few
good
of them. There's a few of them on the brink, isn't there? A few of them.
Yes.
Been on the bench. Yeah, they can bring them on. Play them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think, I think we can have a good team out, and I'm talking about a good team. But I'd put Curtis Jones out there. I really would, to give him game time. I'd also even Harvey Elliott, I'd give him game time. Joe Gomez game time.
And Kwanzaa also, I think, because from the moment Matip is injured, he will play more games. So he needs game time. He needs, the rhythm of the team.
Experience, the big game.
Experience, of course, because he was good on Saturday, but the penalty that gives away is a sign of a lack of experience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Van Dijk gave one away as well, didn't he? But he was lucky that he didn't. He was rescinded by the foul when Van Dijk made a bit of a foolish tackle.
Well, as I said, Daryl says, not Elliott, he will start on Sunday, I feel, Frank. I think, and this is what George and I was saying, let's just go to what Soulboy Francis. Kelleher, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Gomez, Chambers, Clark, McConnell, Jones, Doak, Gordon, Frauendorf, that young German lad, playing.
It would be very interesting. It would be very interesting to see what Jurgen does.
Yes, yeah.
Who he gives the game to.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that.
Yeah. I also think that Klopp wants to win this game. So I think he will go on to win the game.
Yeah, you always want to win.
But playing with this squad. Yes.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he'll mix it up.
Yes.
You're playing for Liverpool Football Club. You've got to give 100%. Yeah. You've got to get a team out there that will really graft.
And that's why, someone mentioned Kanate there. I forgot about him. Yeah, play him, even if he just plays half a game, 45 minutes. Play Gomez, play him. And this is, you just got to have a mixture. And I'd play Harvey Elliott, because Harvey Elliott's been coming on. He hasn't been starting games.
That's a good point. Yes.
And I tell you who else as well. I tell you who else I'd play. I'd play Gravenberch, because Gravenberch, don't forget, he never played at all last season. He had no pre-season whatsoever. He's just joined us, and he's still trying to get into the rhythm. So I'd play him as well.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
He's a big, strong lad. He's a big, strong lad. So I'd have a mixture of senior players, but leaving the most senior players out, the likes of Mo Salah, the likes
Trent.
of Ali, the likes of Van Dijk, the likes of Trent, as you said. These are the main players. These are the main players, and
Also,
the main players in midfield as well. That's who I think.
That's a good shout.
And as the awakened Phoenix says, agree, Frank. At least someone agrees with me. And Soulboy says as well, Scanlon, a good shout, Frank. He's lively. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Charlie says, is there any news on Batatic? Well, the thing is, Jürgen came out and said that he's not ready yet. And I don't know what's really wrong with him. I really don't.
Know. Nobody really knows publicly.
No. The saying about growing pains. We've all had growing pains and whatever, but you're not out that long.
Very strange.
Not out that long. There's something, exactly. So there's something wrong, seriously wrong with the lad. And I just hope, I really hope he's not an injury-prone player.
I saw some photos of Thiago today.
Yes, seen that.
You seen what today? I'm sorry, Darryl. I'm sorry, Marios. What did you say?
I saw some photos of Thiago going to the training ground today. Don't know if that means something, because it was a photo session for Mo Salah's milestone of 200 goals with all the players behind him. But I hope to mean something about his health also.
So do I, Marios.
No, you'd take no notice of that. See, on my history show, I show, Jason, he puts clips up of, my videos that I did, my DVDs of the history of Liverpool. And someone mentioned to me once, he said, God blimey, Frank, when was that? So I never seen you walking around town. He must have thought that I was only doing them. So it is deceiving. Photographs are deceiving, if you know what I mean. Because, as Jürgen said, I think it was in a press conference or something, I don't know what it was, only in the last week, he mentioned Batatic and he said, no, he's not ready yet.
Oh, yeah.
The likes of Thiago, won't be ready until the new year. Well, the new year, how long does the new year go on?
I can't remember all the years I played. I can't remember players been out for as long as this. I can't, honestly, unless their career was finished or they had like a double broken leg or, I mean, there's no way a player should be out for 9 months unless there's a real problem. Honestly, doesn't make sense.
Well, as you said there about Marios, about him being, Darryl Merry says, about Thiago, Darryl Merry says, clearing out his locker, I hope. But he has to forget. He's had 30 minutes since last February. And that 30 minutes was in the April. Since last February. We're coming up to a year.
God.
And we're still talking about Gravenberch, playing as many games to get used to the fitness, fitness level that we need, that we crave for.
He's never going to get match fit. Never going to get
match fit. And he's a free agent come the end of the season.
Yeah. And he's the fourth biggest earner in the team. His wage is really high.
It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Financial. Crazy.
Very high. Very high. And Brian Edley says, lads, what is going on with Melwood? They are still playing the youth games there. I don't know.
I think the women's team
Women, yeah.
are training. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've still retained most of that stadium. They've still retained it.
Yeah, it's theirs now. It's the women's. It's the women's Daryl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, what about Daryl Merry? He says Quonset and Veg Sunday. Sorry,
I wouldn't
there,
have a problem, to be honest, with that personally. You know, I mean, he's still a young lad, Kwanzaa, but it wouldn't bother me if they did that.
yeah,
He looks like he's ready.
yeah. I think he is, and he's really mature. I can't. You remember he played in the crucial last minutes against Newcastle, and then he went on playing some games. And
Yeah.
I really love the part of his game that he's really good with the ball at his feet, and that
Yes.
helps the build up of the team. And I think he's better than Konate in this part in terms of the ball at the feet.
He's almost like a copy of Van Dijk, isn't he? A young Van Dijk.
Yeah.
He looks that same style of player. He's very, measured with his passes. He intercepts the ball well, reads the game well for a young player. And he's only, what is he, 19, 20? I mean, he's only very young. But he's tall, he's strong, and he's come through the ranks very well. I think he's going to be a big player for Liverpool. I think he really is going to be a big player for the club in the months ahead. I don't know where Frank's gone. He's disappeared.
I think he has a problem with the panel right behind him in the background.
Oh, is it? Yeah, so it's fell there, yeah. So you think we're going to have a good result then on Sunday then against United, Mario?
Yes, I'm really confident. I can't see how can we not win this game because of the Anfield and of the condition of the teams, and we are in a great form. They are not. And also for the reason I said before, because we have we are serious. We are we are not sloppy in terms of these games.
You've also got to look at our record at Anfield. We've only lost one game out of 41. So it really is a bastion of invincibility, as Phil said, at the moment. So all these teams coming here, they must be frightened. I mean, it's not a place to come to, is it? It's not really. Not when we're up for it. Not when we're up for it. I think they'll go back with their tails between their legs.
Yeah. As when I went missing there, as Brian Edley says, the roof has come off the cop.
Yeah, Mario said.
Good try for it. Good
try. What's an earthquake?
No, says Daryl Berry.
They're moving the banner like across the cop.
Do you know what, though? It's genuine, this. It was the Annie Road stand. It just fell on me.
An earthquake. Yeah.
It just fell. Oh, it just moved. It moved for some reason. But anyway, I'm safe, lads. I'm back with you. And as someone said, I think that's a cracker. Come out of the cop. Not good sign, though.
Good sign.
It is.
Soulboy says, I thought you were going to say Thiago was history then, Frank. It has become a joke. It has become a joke. And the Irish Gerald says, breaking news, Man United out of Europe completely. Out of Europe, so they won't be going into the Europa League. They must have finished bottom.
No, they must have finished. Must have been well beaten.
Yeah. So they're out of the Europa League as well.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
I think if we give them a bit of a beating on the weekend, I think Ten Hag might be struggling.
Yeah, I think this could be his last game, and I mentioned this. Not then. Do you know when Marino had his last game for Man United at Anfield,
Yeah.
when we beat them, we sorted them, didn't we? We really hammered them. And I think this could be an omen, to be honest, and we did it for, what's his name? Ollie.
That's
Remember
right.
Ollie?
Yeah.
That 5-0 game.
Ollie's at the wheel.
That destroyed him. And I think the same could be.
Yeah, and they've got the new guy coming in to run the football side, haven't they? The multi-millionaire, Jim, forget his second name. He's taken over, isn't he? Coming in, buy so many shares. Well, he's going to look at the thing very closely, I think. They're in trouble, I think, at the moment.
Of course they are.
Time.
And don't forget, that it takes years. That's why we're so lucky in having Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, to build the team spirit, to get them gelled together. Because you look at the United team now and they don't really look as if they enjoy playing together. They're all over the place. Some nasty characters in there. I mean, the captain's one of the worst of the lot. He never stops whinging.
No, he's horrible. Bruno, he's horrible. Yeah. He's horrible. He's a
Rashford's lazy. He doesn't seem to want to play. He's strolling around. Martial's another one. Sancho training on his own. Fell out with the manager. Can you imagine Klopp allowing somebody to train on their own? He would sort it out, wouldn't he?
Oh, they've gone. They do. It was like Sacco that time.
Yes.
When he was
Alex Ferguson, he'd have been gone.
Oh yeah, totally. So there's a lot of dressing room
unrest,
if you like. Obviously they're not getting on with each other.
Didn't look like it, does it? It doesn't look like it at all.
Yeah. And also, they have an massive injury crisis, says Darryl. And also, he goes on and says, no Shaw, no Maguire, no Rashford, no Martial, no Casemiro, no Mount, no Martinez, no Fernandes. That's what he's saying.
They might play Onana centre forward.
Where would they play? They might play the women's team. They've got a women's team. But, in all honesty, I don't give a toss about Man United. I'm not
saying I don't. Let them come here and go away. Well,
they were made up when we were going through a bad time.
Yeah.
They were made up. Don't forget, we did go through a very lean time. And when we brought Klopp in, Klopp said, didn't he? He said, I'm going to win the league with you, the Premiership. And that's why, the song, about winning the Premiership.
Yeah.
And
Fergie said, I'm going to knock Liverpool off the perch.
Yes. Oh, Ferguson said that, yeah.
But we've knocked them off the perch now, haven't we, at the moment?
Yes. Oh, well, it's really knocked them off. Well, it's really.
Mario.
Sorry, guys, I had a problem with the sound. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't like to say, to be honest, Marios. We didn't like to say. But, that's Soul Boy. Soul Boy says, do you think they should sack him? They sack him before Sunday, though?
No, they can't do that. He got manager of the month last month, didn't he?
Yeah.
They got manager of the month, player of the month, and team, and that's something ridiculous.
Unless there's someone in mind. Unless there's all right, it's Tuesday now. Unless they've got someone in mind to take over.
They won't sack him before the weekend. That would be.
Well, Sheffield United did it, didn't they, when they brought Wilder back?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They're playing tomorrow against Bayern.
Yeah.
No, tonight.
Play tonight.
That's tonight.
Yeah, I think it was tonight, wasn't it? Yeah, play tonight. They must have lost.
They're out. They don't even go into the Europa League, apparently.
1-0 to Bayern. It was 1-0 to Bayern there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
so that's them out.
Yes, so
Copenhagen and the other team must have won.
No points, says Brian Headley. But
I'm not worried about them anyway.
and as Darryl says, came at the Frogs, the favourite to take over. But I really think that, you know, this coming weekend, if there's no result against Liverpool, I think he will be sacked. I think he will be sacked.
Yeah, maybe.
I think
I don't think they're going to get into Europe this year anyway.
No.
That's a huge thing for them.
And what about Chelsea as well? You know, they're way behind in a European place.
Yeah.
And I read today that the chairman of Chelsea, Todd Bowley, is paying $750 million a year to a baseball player. Top baseball player in America. Plays for his team, the LA Dodgers. $750 million a year. One player.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And Pochettino said that he needs more transfers in January.
That's obscene, though.
I also read that, I don't know whether it's a spoof, but Casado is asking his agent to talk to Liverpool to try and get him back up here.
Yeah, well, he had to go at them. He had to go at Lavia and Casino to Jürgen. When he says, "Aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky?" And Darryl Merry says Copenhagen. I always call it Copenhagen. Qualified for the last 16.
So it's Galatasaray coming to Europa League.
Yeah, no, they're not coming in. They're out of Europe altogether.
They must have finished bottom. They must have finished bottom of the table, didn't
they?
Yeah.
So Galatasaray is going
Galatasaray probably
into the Europa League with us. Yes.
Yeah.
So
as I read, Galatasaray, Benfica, Braga, and Lens are coming to Europa League from the Champions League.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, JK says Galatasaray in the Europa League. They're a good side, Galatasaray.
Yeah, very good side. Yes.
I don't fancy going there.
No.
We have to win. Europa League.
It's a right hot place, Turkey, isn't it? You see that referee got punched by a player?
Yeah.
That's incredible, isn't it? Yeah, he's in hospital.
Is he?
Yeah. He's got a big brace around his neck and a big bruise in his eye.
Wow.
And the president of Turkey was on the phone to him.
Well said, Frank. All them torture years with Fergie time. So honestly, I don't give a toss about them. I really don't. Never have done, never will do. I've never. And Ferguson brought the hate out of everybody. I always remember Kevin Keegan having that spat with him. Remember, and it was live on telly.
Yeah.
And that's how he manipulated Ferguson.
Kevin fell into the trap, didn't he?
So I just don't give a toss about him. I really don't. Funny enough, only yesterday I was watching the 5-0? Yeah, the 5-0 game at Old Trafford when you see Kenny and his son laughing, and the camera goes, and it goes right onto Ferguson, and you see him like that.
Yeah.
And I loved that because he was very. When we beat them 4-1 at Old Trafford, after beating Real Madrid 4-0, he went up there and smashed them 4-1.
Yeah.
Remember that? Right?
Torres.
And Ferguson said at the end of the game, the best team lost.
4-1.
And I said that's hatred. That's not bad. That's hatred towards Liverpool Football Club. And yet he loved Bill Shankly.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was similar. I mean, at the end of the day, as far as Ferguson is concerned, I mean, as an ex-professional footballer, I've got to admire him as a manager. He was very successful. So you can't take that away from him, Frank.
No, still don't like him. Still just don't like the man. Don't like the man. There's not many. There's not many managers I dislike. You know, honestly, there's not many. And the only people I dislike, 2 managers. And I'll tell you who they are. One's
Brian Clough. Brian Clough's one of them. I know that.
Brian Clough.
Brian Clough.
Yeah.
Brian Clough. No time for him. No, I know he's dead, like, but no time for him whatsoever. Because he blamed me. I take that personally.
Oh, really?
I take it personally. And I don't take anybody when that's why I don't bother about other clubs anymore. Because when they come out and start shouting murderers and everything, I take that personally. I'm not a murderer. And neither is my fellow Reds are murderers either. And I take that personally. That's the way I am. I just go on about Liverpool. That's all that I go on about is our Reds, our football team. Our wonderful football team, and I'm looking for this bloody, I don't know where it goes. Oh, there it is over there. You know, the little arrow to put up. Tell them Mary says 18-0 on Sunday.
Bit ambitious, Daryl.
And Norman says, I couldn't care less about other teams. Concentrate on Liverpool. Man United are obsessed with us. They will put everything into beating us. Absolutely. This is what we were talking about, weren't we, George?
Yeah.
They're going to be up for it. But the point is, so are we.
They'll be coming into the Lions' Den, boy.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And Brian says, lads, is it us and only, and everyone is jealous. Been brilliant again, lads. Good health to all of us. Good talk on Friday. Up there, Reds and JF. They're JFT for the 97.
Hello,
Brian. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. Couldn't care less if we only score 1, as long as we beat them.
As long as we beat them, that's the main thing. 3 points is what we want.
Yeah. And Brian says, remember Clough punching the fans, his own fans, when they ran onto the pitch? Yeah, that was shocking, that. You remember that? I always that was a midweek game and he punched one, didn't he? And I wonder what that fella thought of him.
Yeah.
You know, the Forester. Daryl says, where you going, Greek to the pub?
So, I'm going home.
Midnight. Is it midnight there, Mario? It's supposed to be about midnight.
Yeah, midnight, right. 12, yes.
Do you know what? Awfully sorry, to have a done so late. But if you're doing nothing on Friday,
sorry?
If you're doing nothing on Friday, I'm doing a pod on Friday night. If you're doing nothing, would you like to come on Friday?
Yeah, of course. I can't answer from now about my availability, but if I'm available, of course, I will come in. Yes.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. So that's all that I need to know before we finish. And get the usual out, Mario.
Get the what? Get the usual.
Usual, yes.
Usual, yeah. Usual for Mario, whiskey for me.
Yeah.
We should have
when are you coming over again, Mario?
Sorry?
When are you coming over again? When are you coming over here again to Liverpool?
I will try the spring. I will try for the spring, yes. I want to come back.
You must come back, yeah.
Yeah, it was the best experience of my life, of course, yes.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great if we've seen you before then.
Back and see the new stand.
In the spring. We should have 7,000 more fans in and the new stand.
Yeah. It was a test last night.
Yes.
And as Brian says, safe home, Marios, lad. That's nice. Charlie Wood. Great show again, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
lads.
as Darryl says, I'm so glad Jürgen is ahead.
Yeah.
I'll have to shut. Here's one for you, Marios. Norman says, the Marios has terrible flatulence. Oh, there is a motorbike making noises in his
No
mouth.
motorbikes. It's the avenue. But no, come on.
Well, okay, listen, I've got to finish. Marios, I'll hopefully see you on Friday. The
Yeah,
usual.
See you next Tuesday, Frank. I'll see you next Tuesday.
And I'll see you next Tuesday.
yeah. It's
Frank. Nice to see you, Marios.
great to see you again, George. Thank you.
Yeah, speak to you before Christmas. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
of course, for sure. Yes.
Thank
I'm
you,
heading
lad.
next
Thank
door
you,
now.
George.
I've got a long
Thank
way
you,
to
Maria.
go.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone. And look at that. That's a great piece, Marios and George. And that comes from JK. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, people. Love yous, honestly. I really love yous. Thank you so much. And I'll see yous all on Friday. Hopefully, see yous all on Friday. We should be okay. We should be okay. And as the Awakened Phoenix says, that's a crack. What a name. What a name. Peace, everyone. Absolutely. And Brian says, Frank, you're a legend, mate. No, you're the legends. You boys are the legends, not me. I just love you coming on and really, I try my best. I try to get everybody in. Try to mention your names. I really do. And, comments. I hope to have a shave soon because my skin still hasn't. It's so tender. It's horrible. I bought new blades. Cost me a fortune. New blades cost me a fortune. So I hope to have a nice clean face by the time you see me again. Sounds like an elephant in the room, says Soul Boy Fran. It's as you mean. And Zara says, love you, Frank. I love you all, honest to God. And hopefully see you all Friday. Let's hope that, we have a good game. Let's put out the lads. Let's put out the young kids with a few mixtures of senior players. And let's finish top of the league with a win. Let's finish top of the league with a win. And let's stuff these on Sunday as well. Thank you so much, people. And see you Friday. Thank you.